So let's start the session today on Decode Masters in Business Analytics. So if you are not aware, we are running an entire series of Decode Masters in USA. We covered computer science, we covered engineering, management, information systems, electrical engineering. We have covered fourth. Of this entire webinar series, this is my fifth webinar, and that is on business analytics. Ahead, we have mechanical engineering, we have data science, we have architecture, we have public health, so a lot of other masters. So we have going to unveil around 10 popular masters in US. Okay, so welcome on board, and we really appreciate your time, and we would give you the best that is possible. All right, so let's start with today's topic. Before that, let me quickly introduce myself. This is Ankita here. And as I'm the host for today's session, let me quickly introduce who am I. So I'm an IT engineer myself. Post that, I worked as a as a software engineer with Tech Mahindra. After which I went for my MBA. I took up my GMAT and same the journey like you guys, what you're going to do. But I went for an MBA. I went to University of Leeds in UK and I studied there. I also did a diploma in counseling because I've always been very interested towards counseling and students and stuff. But then I was not aware I'm going to take that as a mainstream. But yes, I did a diploma from counseling from UK Council. Post that, I was recruited by British Petroleum in London, and I worked as a management trainee there for a year and a half. Wonderfully excited, felt very achieved, felt very nice, and still somewhere I had a bug to do something of my own, and that's how I left my well-paid, well-placed, and who would not love London? And I left my job and I returned back in 2010. And that's how I returned back. And in 2010, I started Education Street, and my entrepreneurial journey started with that. 10 years and no looking back. It's a decade of helping, mentoring, guiding students for undergraduates, for masters, for PhDs, may it be US, Canada, Germany, Australia, a lot of them. So it's been a very, very enriching experience, and that's how I am there today to you. So, Education Street is being started 10 years back, and personally, I'm married to a very hustling husband, very loving husband, and I have a 3-year-old daughter now, and they keep me on toes. And apart from that, I'm fixated to meditation. I love self-help books. I love reading. I love traveling. Of course, it's all restricted now, but yes, I love traveling, and I've been to almost 28 plus countries. So that's how my journey is, and I would start the session because I'm sharing the stories, because stories connect each other, and that's how we learn and how we grow. So that's exactly what I wanted to do. Now let me come quickly to the session and the agenda for today. So I'm going to cover what MSBA is all about. What does a Master's in Business Analytics? And per se, I'm also going to try to explain what business analytics mean. Okay. Then the application material to US, the university selection for the universities in US, credit systems in US education cost and return of investment, and job trends in business analytics. When I talk about education cost, I'm also going to do a maths which you can show your parents that, okay, this is how the funding is going to be taking place, and this is how I'm going to plan to return it back. So hold on, the entire session is very unusual than what you would see otherwise, because we have addressed all your pain points. We are going to talk about OPT, we are going to talk about the financial sides and all of that, okay, even the salary ranges. So this is how the session is going to be covered. Now, let me first quickly talk about the top reasons why any student looks for US. Yes, there are a lot of destinations. There's Germany, there's Canada, there's UK. But of course, US is a big daddy when it comes to studying abroad. And definitely, why not? It's very empowering. Okay. So saying this, US universities, there are almost 4,000 plus universities. So if you say, why you would go to US, there are 4 reasons why you would go to US. Typically, what I see are the most important ones. They have a focus on quality and not quantity. So it's not that you're going to have a very packed schedule. They give you the freedom to learn, unlearn, do yourself, do understand the topic as per your understanding. There's no fixed curriculum, there's no fixed textbook. So it's a quite qualitative program, and there's ample of opportunities to learn, and hence Indian students do very well out there. Top tech companies like Google, Facebook, Oracle, SAP, you name it, and all of them are invested in some way or the other in the universities, because they carry out a lot of research work, they have their professors, they make the concepts much more practically oriented, and that's how the industry trends are very prevalent in the university in US. The third, of course, it's quite rewarding. We all want to invest somewhere where we'll get a return. That's why people go to US. So the money that looks very huge first, but whatever lakhs of rupees you're going to put in, it's going to be highly rewarding, because you're going to get really, really good jobs out there. Okay. So that's the career success that you're looking for. US gives you. Now, the fourth point is choose your own subjects. I call it like a point where it is freedom, because you get to choose your program as per what you want to do. And I'll show you how you can do that in business analytics. So it's a complete freedom that is given to you. So this is how MS in US works, and you should be considering. Now, whether I should go for business analytics or computer science or engineering management or information systems, choosing your major is very important. We have seen almost 43% of the students across the globe, not only US, but across the globe, they go for wrong choice of course. Now, how disheartening is that, right? Because you're paying so much of money, your time is important, and somehow you're not landing up where you're passionate about. So please ask yourself these 4 questions before we move further. What are you good at? Are you good at coding? Then go for a CS program. Are you good at technology and management? Then go for a program related to it. If not, look for something and then decide what you want to do. And that's exactly why we are putting this effort to all our students and future students, that you should be knowing and understanding what is this MS. What happens is we all follow each other. Okay, someone said business analytics is very, very rewarding. There are good jobs. But if you're not good at it, you're not going to get a job, even if you're from UC Berkeley. Okay. So that's how important it is. So first, ask what you're good at. Second, are you good to do this for next 5 years? I'm not asking you to do it for 10 years, 15 years of lifetime. No one does the same thing for lifetime. Trust me. At least I am a living example, and there are so many around me. So look for whether are you fixated with this for the next 5 years of your journey, then go for it. Okay. Do not follow what is trending. A lot of students and parents come and ask me, what is the most trending, or what is the most likely where he will or she will get a job? Most of the areas have good job areas. Okay. But you have to be good at it. Only people who are good at it get the jobs. Okay. So that's how you have to decide. Choose and research over it. That's exactly why this session. Understand and then do your own research, and then you can definitely come back to us that yes, this is where I want to go in for. So this is how you have to start with. Now let's start with masters in US. So there are 2 types of masters: masters in science, which is with thesis, and masters in engineering, engineering, or masters in professional degree. So basically, masters in science, MS degree, is with thesis. So your last semester is typically with a research component, where you choose your own topic, you choose your own thesis, you do your own project, and you come out with a report. Like a lot of engineers and bachelor students have their final year, but a little more, because you have to do your research on your own. You cannot copy. Okay. So that's how masters in thesis works in. Now, masters in engineering or professional degrees without thesis, there's no research component. All your semesters are fixated with what programs, that means subjects which are practically oriented. There is no thesis, there is no research. So all your semesters are typically related to your program. So most of the business analytics program would be without thesis, but there are some with thesis. But a lot of MSBA programs are either a year or year and a half. That's how most of the programs run in US as well. So don't worry, try to compare, oh, an MS in CS is 2 years, or MS in EXTC is 2 years, and all that stuff. That's not going to happen. Okay, so this is how the 2 types of masters work in US. So choose wisely. Now let's come behind on the concept why we all have gathered here, and there's a good number, and I'm really excited to tell you that what does business analytics mean. So business analytics is a driver of business that helps to make decisions in order to achieve performance by analyzing the existing data through technological intelligence. So typically it is about understanding data, evaluating data, and getting futuristic steps for it. Okay, so that is what an analyst does. So understand what business analytics is for you to understand what the course will cover, and I'm going to get there. Okay, now coming to another concept which is there in BA, and that is called as business intelligence. So let's start with business intelligence. Business intelligence is about using data to make intelligent business decisions by monitoring, collecting, and reporting data for interpretation. So business intelligence is more related to, again, analyzing data, but they are for the current framework. I'll get there again explaining the difference between these two. So a BI degree studies past and current raw data to determine current trends for most effective operation in the present. So basically current decisions, like suppose if Walmart needs to decide that, okay, winter is here, and the cashier is here, what do I place here? So they study the customer pattern, that what is placed where sells more. That's what they do every day to analyze the current pattern of the customer. Example, a business analytics analyzes past data to form predictive models that include optimal techniques for future performance. So this brings in future strategy. So I am someone's, again, I'll take an example of Walmart. Last winter, cherries sold out like magic. Okay, that's exactly what I have to do. I have to plan that I get the best cherries and a lot of quantities filled in all my Walmart stores, because that's how cherries are selling during winters. Now, this is what the strategy means, that I read my past data and I actually plan for the coming winter. Okay, so this is how these strategies work. So business intelligence and business analytics are an amalgamated concept when it comes to any masters. Okay, so the success formula for any student to be an analyst is to understand BI plus BA. This is where a business success comes. So if you understand these two concepts, you become a very valuable resources for big companies, because they have huge data. And data is currently seeping in into middle companies, small companies. Everyone is understanding that data is very important, because everything is online. So when it is everything online, you don't have anything to see. You have to understand the numbers, you have to understand the trends. And that's why business analytics has taken like fire everywhere. Now you may ask me, what are the tools or what are the technology that business analytics may have? Because some are worried that I don't want to do coding. Let me tell you, there is a part of coding, but they are not very, very technical, like C++ or Java and stuff. Okay, so that is why you may go for business analytics. Okay, so there is R, Python, Apache, Pig, Hive. These are a lot of sources which you can start learning now as well, or you may be learning them when you go for MSBA. Okay, now top companies, you can see there are several companies which are using them already. So that means if you have the expertise, you do a master's in business analytics, you can really aim for big companies. Okay, there's SAS, Tableau, Excel, ClickView, Splunk. These are several softwares, analytical tools. So people always confuse what does technology is there in business analytics. These are the technologies, but these technologies are more like tools, like how you use Excel or PowerPoint, right? It's not coding, but you have to understand the interface. That's how you understand, and then you implement and make a PowerPoint. The same way you have to understand the tool, upload data, and try to understand the reporting tools out of this. Okay, so these are how these popular analytic tools are. You may take a snapshot of this. So this is how tools work. Now let me talk about different analytics. People from different areas can look out to go for business analytics. I get a lot of students from commerce, I get students from engineering, I get electrical students, civil students, all of them, and they are like clueless. Can they go, or only computer science and IT students can go? No, business analytics is open for all kind of disciplines. But now you may choose where you want to fit in. Okay. So these are different kind of analytics which you can study while you're doing your business analytics. So there is something called as marketing analytics. So marketing analytics is a person who's going to understand data, use analytical tools to understand the audience, the target audience, the segmentation, then campaign, how the campaign is doing, how much money did I put in digital marketing, how much leads am I getting, how much convergence am I doing. This is what all marketing analytics is. Okay. So if you're looking out to not go for something technical, you may go into analytics because it is more about strategy, about managing, and even concept making. Okay. So this is how marketing analytics work. Then risk analytics. If I'm a number person, I may go into a wealth management company or a portfolio management company, analyze the pool of money, look at the risk mitigation ways, manage risk, and help people earn a lot. Okay. Customer analytics is basically like what Walmart uses or DMart uses, or all biggies of FMCG companies use, that what do the products sell, how do they sell, what kind of placement is necessary, how do you churn people, and all these things, how does the loyalty points work. So all these things are related to customer analytics. Supply chain analytics is basically Amazon uses, where they understand how the supply is happening, which is taking longer time, where are the complaints coming in, how can we improvise the inventory, and how do we do the quality control. Then comes as human resource. So all the HR people, even they have to analyze now the customer data, the talents, why the attrition is happening, what kind of training is to be done. All this is analytics, guys. So all of you who ask me what kind of jobs I can do, what are the specializations, right away in front of you. Web analytics, if I'm good into website making, sentiment, or looking at what traction I'm getting, how many people are following on my website, what convergence am I doing, what do they do, their life cycle, all these things are about web analytics. I can go on, and there are so many areas where analytics is used. So if you want to go into marketing, you want to go into operations, HR, you want to go into a consulting company, analytics is a beautiful game that you can play. Okay, so this is how you can go for analytics. Now coming to the concept, and again moving further, what do masters include in US? So there are two kind of syllabus in it: core subjects and electives. So core subjects are something which are like very few. So in US, typically you go and do an MSBA for around say 12 to 15 subjects. In that, there would be only 2 or 3 subjects which are going to be core. That means they are mandatory. Electives is what you choose. So typically, if I want to go in more into marketing, I choose more concepts into marketing. If I want to go into operations, I choose more into supply chain. That's how I build my analytical specialization. Okay, I'm going to cover that for you as well. So saying this, the core subjects are typically, going to be applied statistic modeling, management science, applied forecasting, decision analysis, system stimulation, data mining. So these are some core subjects, out of which only 2 or 3 would be compulsory. Rest all is going to be electives. Okay. So statistics is something which is very dear and near when it comes to business analytics. Okay. So you have done it or you have not done it. Don't worry. For most of the people, you can go for business analytics. And it's a beautiful program which most of the people enjoy because it's quite logical. Now coming to the elective. So as I said, there are a lot. I already showcased you the different kind of analytics. But let me talk about few of the. I couldn't cover all of them because there are too many electives that you get as a choice. But few of them which are very, very important, I have covered here. Analytics for competitive advantage. Introduction to statistics for data scientists. Programming for data science, which is Python and all these subjects. Financial accounting, marketing management, big data analytics, data management, databases and data warehousing, building and managing teams, exploratory data analytics, predictive analytics, advanced issues, data-driven experimentation and measurement, modeling and heuristics for decision making, project management of analytics, experiential learning. So as you see, there are so many electives, and the subjects itself at least sounds very interesting to me, because hearing it like analytics for competitive advantage, doesn't it sound interesting? Because if I study this, I can definitely be a person who can be a to-go person for my company to understand where will we get a competitive advantage, right? That's what we all need in this today's world. So business analytics has a very beautiful program and a very logical progression ahead. Now let me say further about the application material to apply for MS and BA. So most of the universities in US require GRE. However, 30% of the universities have given GRE waiver for Jan 22 at least. I'm not very sure about fall 22 what happens, but yes, due to COVID, a lot of universities have given waiver. But I still prefer students to take up GRE, because you have more chances to get an admission to a better university and also get scholarships. So I would recommend you to take up a GRE. If, as I, the poll said, that you're all looking for fall 22, mostly 82% students have taken the poll, and they have said that they're looking for fall 22. In that case, I would definitely recommend you to take up a GRE. Either TOEFL or IELTS, either of the exam is important. You require transcripts, you require to write an SOP which is written and edited well enough. So we do help at Education Street the same thing. We don't ghost write, because we don't want to do something unethical and make a cost at your this thing. So we really take the content, and then my editors edit and do it. 3 letter of recommendation, resume, extracurriculars, and financial documents. So guys, again I repeat, if you have any question, do write in the chat function. So these are the materials required. Now there are almost 4,000 plus universities in US. The major confusion happens here, because which university do I apply? When it comes to business analytics, I don't think so there are more than 50 or 60 universities out of this. So the good ones. So we have around 60 universities to play in for business analytics. Either of them would have a year or a year and a half course. Okay. Now, what are they looking at? They are looking at your aggregate. So whatever degree you have done, they are going to look at your aggregate. So typically, if you have 65% and up, of course, higher is the limit. But if you have 65% and up, you have a good target to apply to a good number of universities. Second, as I recommend, you should take up a GRE, because that will definitely up your chances. So do take a GRE, and a TOEFL is mandatory to go to US. Now, to apply for fall 22, which is September 22, the deadlines are going to be starting from this October, November. So saying this, you're already in August, September, October max. You have only 2 to 3 months to pull out your application. And as you saw, there is a list of documents that you need to prepare. So that's why I said this is the best time to start your preparation to go to US. So please get in touch with us if you want a one-on-one session. And at Education Street, we definitely pay attention, and we are customized counselors. When it comes to universities, there are a lot of students who go for free universities or free counselors. Ask yourself if anything ever has come to you free, which is good. So that's exactly what you need to ask. And I need not push you further on this, because you're very smart and intelligent, that you know what is good for you. So don't look for the few thousands that you're going to pay me or the counselor that you're going to choose, but choose the right counselor, because there are a lot of counselors who even take money and still don't deliver. So you can also Google us at Education Street Mulund, and you would see our Google reviews, and you can believe what Google reviews are saying. I'm not even talking about the website, because that's what I feed my website. So coming back to the point, you have to apply to safe, moderate, and ambitious universities. So the pillars are aggregate, your GRE and TOEFL. No university can bypass your aggregate and your GRE and TOEFL score. There are only 10% of weightage given to extracurriculars and your project and internship. So any one of you who ask me ki I've done exceptionally well in extracurriculars and my co-curricular activities, very good. I understand. I highly appreciate that. But an academic university out there understands academic results only. So that is your first step. With that, you have a foot in your door, and then primarily they will look at your profile ahead. So that is very important, and it cannot be replaced by any of the other aspects. Now, how many universities do I apply for? So you can apply to typically 5 to 9 universities because it's very expensive, and that's what I want to show you. So there's an application fee ranging from $50 to $100 per university. So $75 is your application fee. So say if I apply to only 7 universities into 75, almost $525 become my expense to apply to US, which is in Indian rupees 37,000 rupees. So it's quite expensive. So we can't go about pulling a lot of universities, but around 5 to 7 universities or 5 to 9 universities should be good, provided you do a well research and you can apply for a good reasonable amount of universities which are safe, moderate and ambitious. So saying this, we at Education Street definitely come as a strategist and an analyst, I would say, to plan and give you the right universities. Now, when it comes to US education system, I want to introduce you to US education system. So generally students take around 3 courses every semester for MSBA, and each course has around 1.5 hours of lecture. So that makes it around 4.5 hours per week or 6 hours a week. That's how much the classes would be. So does that means that you are free enough? So you are wrong enough in this. So there are a lot of assignments and projects which are given to every student, and that's why US is said to be not giving you spoon feeding at any stage. So that's why when I said that US in the start gives you the freedom, now freedom can go both the ways, right? So if you use your freedom by entertaining yourself and just pleasing yourself, you may not do any good to yourself. But if you utilize this, go in the library, study, there are a lot of readings to be given, there's no fixed curriculum. So in that case, that's the beauty of US, and then only you will get a good GPA. The assignments are purely personalized. They are not like written exams only. There are group assignments, there are speeches, there are a lot of ways, and there are practical oriented things which you have to do it. So that's how it is, and that's why students love going to US. And yes, you cannot copy any of your assignments in US because they have a plagiarism concept. So please be aware of all this before you go and understand to study in USA. Now let me introduce you to a concept called as credit systems in US. So credit systems in US are typically what you need to understand because your fees depend on that, and that is how you can choose your masters. So every masters require around 30 to 40 credit points to clear or get a degree conferred on you. So in this case, each subject gets you 2 to 4 credits depending. So suppose if you clear one subject, you get around say 3 credits, example. So if you clear 10 subjects, you get 30 credits. So if a master's degree in NYU wants you to clear 30 credits, then only you get an MSBA degree. In that case, you have to finish 10 subjects, which are each subject of 3 credits. So this is how your masters depend. Each credit is outcome of your fees as well. So whenever you go to see the actual fees of any university, it's a huge confusion because you'll never see the fees directly on any website. They will navigate you to the credit systems. They will navigate you to the per credit cost. So they will say per credit, say it is 1,000 rupees. So 1,000 into 10 subjects, 30 credits. So basically your fees becomes around 30,000. So 30,000 becomes your entire cost for your tuition fee for that MSBA program. That's how the tuition fee is counted, and that's what credit systems mean. So one is to get a credit system and one is to get performance. So if you perform in those 10 subjects, then your GPA is built say 3.5 GPAs out of 4 in US. So one is that you have to clear your 10 subjects, that is your credits point, and earn your credit points to get your masters. And second is that you have to perform in your 10 subjects to get your GPA higher. So these are 2 things where you have to perform. So that's how it is different from India, and that is why we are taking these steps and these webinars to explain you what it is to go to for masters in US. A lot of you just don't look into it because you're unaware and you're just following, okay, my senior went, my cousin went, but you're unaware, and because of your confusion and unawareness, you either fall for a wrong university, a wrong course, or an expensive program. And that's why we want you to be very well aware when you're choosing your universities rightly. Now, what is the cost of education when you're looking to go to US? So typically you're looking at a cost of around 12 lakh to 18 lakh rupees per year. Now, these fees vary from university to university. It depends on the rankings. It depends whether your university is private or public. It depends on the location. If it's a New York university, it's going to be higher, expensive. If it's going to be Indianapolis, North Carolina, Oregon, then the fees is going to be lesser. So this is how location also plays a lot of importance. And the fourth point is credits. If my course requires 40 credits, that means I definitely may have to shell out more money. So this is how the credit systems work, and this is how the tuitions is counted. So if I want to be cost sensitive, I want to save my money, look out at the first step itself. You need to understand how to shortlist your universities. So this is how you can save your money. You can go to a public university like your state universities. Okay, so this is how the cost of education work. Now coming to living expenses. Okay, so the living expenses range from 7 lakh rupees to 9 lakh rupees. Okay, so this is how the range of tuition living cost vary. They also vary because of your rent, your groceries, your utility bills, and add-on. The key to save your money to US and any country is basically to share your accommodation. The more you save on your rent, that's how you can save your living costs. So typically you're looking out at a cost of around 45,000 to 65,000. Again, location matters here. So if you go to New York, California, Boston in US, typically you're going to have higher fees. But if you go to, say, a state which is like, again, the remote places, you will save on your accommodation as well. So that's how you have to plan. So for every person who's there in the webinar, you can save your money if you can go out for choosing the right concept of universities and the states. So as I said, there are 4,000 plus universities. There's a lot to choose from. So join Education Street for us to help you out for the same. Now coming to a business analyst role. So we have all identified what MSBA program is, what concepts are there, what kind of industries you can work. So what does a BA person works as? Let me give you an outlook to that. So a BA person basically is a person who works in a team which helps identifying business needs from the client. Once he identifies the business need from the client, he then sits with his technology team to give them the detailed requirements. The technology team, using the technology aspiration, comes out with a solution. This solution, then the business analyst gives back to his client, validates that solution, and then they prepare that and give them those solutions. So typically, if say again, like a company like Amazon, they may hire Deloitte or Ernst & Young to understand their data, that how and what the patterns of the customers is happening. A business analyst will understand the data, understand the problem, and play a future strategy and give to the futuristic company, the technology team, to build a coding or a software related to it, and that solution would be then given to Amazon. That's how a business analyst typically work in one of the area. If he's a marketing analyst, he will have a client who wants to understand how to better their marketing, or how to better their HR team, or how to better their other areas. That's how a business analyst work. Just see yourself working as this role. If that's what you appeal and that's what you look forward to, then you should definitely go for a business analyst role. That's the beauty of studying abroad. Okay. Now coming to the top benefits of BA, that why you should be looking out for BA in this case. First and foremost, business analytics help in cost control, and all the companies are looking forward to reduce their cost. And that's why there are a lot of people who hire business analytical people in their company. Second, it gives quick and wise decision making. It's just not intuition based, or it's just not a feel good factor kind of decisions. These decisions are taken by the people by actually data analyzing. Third, analyzing competitor wisely. It is very, very important to analyze the competitor very wisely. So you have to analyze your competitor, and that's what a business analyst does. So these are the 3 top reasons why you can look forward to go and work as a business analyst. Now, There are a lot of trends in salaries, but these are the trends in salaries, and US definitely is the highest payer. So around $64,000 to $172,000 a year, depending on your work experience. So a starting salary would be around $65,000 to $70,000 a year. Canada would be around Canadian dollar 64 to $90,000. UK would be around 27,000 pounds to 42,000 pounds. Singapore would be around 52,000 Singaporean dollar to 60,000 Singaporean dollar. Australia would be around 75,000 Australian dollar to 200,000 Australian dollar. And India typically is going to be around 3,50,000 to say around 24 lakhs. So there is a need in every country. So I would definitely recommend you that you should go abroad, because MSBA in abroad is a different game altogether. So let's come again to the cost and how US allows you to remove your living cost. So as I said, you have a cost of around 7 to 9 lakh rupees to remove from the living cost. In that case, you're allowed to work 20 hours a week. As you're allowed to work 20 hours a week, you get paid $10 to $14. So let's do a simple maths here. So $10 into 20 hours is basically $200. Weekly, it becomes around $800. And yearly, it becomes around $9,600. So approximately you're earning around 7 lakh rupees a year if you definitely put in your hard work. So I mentioned 7 to 9 lakh rupees is your cost of living. If you are hardworking, you can definitely remove this cost on your own. And that's why US is said as an opportunity to go and a magnet for students and Indian students. So I would say don't go about only the cost about what you have in mind and the sticker price, because you all have an opportunity to return that money. Let me do a further simple calculation for you, and you can show this to your parents, because that is definitely going to help them to understand how they will be able to cope up with this huge amount of investment. So typically, if you're going to invest say around $50,000, just to give a round figure here, and your average salary, as I said, is going to be around $70,000. So say again, tax remove 33%, which is very high, but yes, there are 33% as well, and there's nil also. But yes, let's count the highest, 33%. So 23,100 goes into your taxes. So your income remains is 46,900. Now I'm doubling your expenses, that is your living style, because your lifestyle may now improvise, because now you're a working professional, you would have your own house, and you would have a better and a higher lifestyle. You're no more a student. So we absolutely understand that. So why not? So in this case, $2,000 per month, very, very flamboyant, but still $2,000 per month. In that case, 24,000 per year is what I'm going to deduct. Expense minus 22,900 is going to be your saving. So guys, tell your parents and your sponsors in another 2.5 years, you're going to return your money. So yes, it is a risk to put in so much of money, but it is a calculated risk. You are definitely going to achieve the best out of it very, very soon. Okay. So this is how the return on investment works, provided you work hard. Now in US, there's a concept called as OPT. So all of the students who apply for US, you've got your degrees, you've got your admission, and now you apply for an F1 visa. With an F1 visa, you get 2 years to study. It's a 5-year visa, but you don't get those all your 5 years that no one will disturb you. No, it's not going to happen that way. Firstly, you study for 2 years, after which in your last semester, you have to apply to a concept called as OPT, Optional Practical Training. This is something which your university will help you out. You get a 1-year OPT. If you are from STEM, you get another 2 years. So you should go in US for a STEM degree. That is science, technology, engineering, and maths. So if you do that, then you get a 3-year stay back option. But first you get only 1 year. In this 1 year, you have to look for a job. If you don't, and if you do, then you get another 2 years of OPT extension. In this 3 years, you have 3 chances of H1B cycle. And that's the beauty of going abroad. Okay, so this is how H1B works, and this is how F1 visa works and OPT works. So all the students who are worried about going to US and the visa concepts, don't be, it's a myth. You have 3 years to stay there. You have 3 cycle of H1B, and who said you cannot return money even in 3 years? I just made a calculation to you to understand. You have 3 years to calculate and return your money back. Okay. Now let's talk about so as we come to the end, so US definitely is a land of opportunities. I hope I have answered most of your answers in the PowerPoint, but you may start writing your questions in the chat function. And all of you, we would request and we would appeal that if you are looking for counseling at Education Street, we have a complete package and a premium package for counseling. We help you right from shortlisting of the universities. We help you for the complete application process, your SOP editing, your letter of recommendation, your online application. So we fill up the forms as well. We help you for your I-20, your financial counseling, your loan assistance. We also take up visa form, visa file. We take 3 rounds of mock interviews, pre-departure. All this is what we include in our counseling fee. We are paid counselors and we are not free. If you're looking for free counselors, I assume that you're looking to compromise in your applications to US and you're okay into going into compromised universities. That's a choice you have made. But I want to know, and I know there are students who don't want to compromise and want to do the best that is fit for them. And that's exactly a call for all the students who don't want to compromise. And you know, you're going to put lakhs of monies out there. A few thousand paid to a good counselor is only going to save that money, because that's going to be a right, well researched decision. And if you're looking for that, we can help you for counseling. Apart from US, if you're looking for any other country, say like UK, Australia, Germany, Canada, Netherlands, Ireland, Singapore, all of this is what we help you as well. So if you're looking for that, we can do multi-country counseling also. So this is where I come to an end, and I would definitely pass this message to all the students. End of education is character. I say this to everybody because I want to explain this. Studying abroad is a very, very rewarding journey, but don't simply count it in what salary you will get or what kind of job you will get. Typically, studying abroad is to get the best out of you, to explore yourself, face your own fears, and chisel yourself and make the best person out of you. So if you have the character, wherever you go, everyone is going to definitely going to appreciate your work. So yes, you can look out to study abroad, and if you're looking for that, at Education Street can definitely help you. My email ID is ankita@educationstreet.in. This is our contact number, and if you're looking out for, you may get in touch with us.